me the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. Sometimes I feel like all is lost, but I know it's not true. I wanna put up all my walls cause I'm not in the mood, but then I cut myself off from the rest of the room. I know that time can heal it all if you're patient and soon it can all be worth it, all the searching. Pain is never really permanent, but damn it hurts, man. I could feel all of the turbulence and it's concerning. I've been searching.
Yo, guys, what is up? What is up? A little late stream for me. I usually don't stream this late, but when you have a guy like Alkabeer, the analyst, coming on your show, you got to make anything possible. So, shout out to my guy, Alkabeer. We did this a couple times, so glad to have you on the show again, man. How you doing?
Doing good yourself, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. You know, just ready to talk some birds. I was all day yesterday with the Commanders content creators. I was with the rally captain yesterday, Rio Robinson yesterday. So it's nice to talk to an Eagles fan after yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm just throwing it out there because they had a lot of stuff.
I said I like Rio Robinson content a lot. I'm actually subscribed to him.
Yeah, so am I. So am I. We've done it like twice. That was our second time, but yeah. What is good, Cool Cat? What is good, bro? The Cool Cat missed game day tomorrow at 1. I cannot wait for that game. And what is up, Robert from Philly Sports Talk Podcast? He's going to be with me and a bunch of other guys for the Hardcore Sports Morning Show tomorrow morning at 10. And then I'm going back on his channel tomorrow night at 6, or I think it's 6, yeah. Remind me if I'm wrong, but we're going to talk about the game in general. So let's just get right into it. So how do you feel about Jalen Hurts' last 2 games? Because personally, he persuaded me. He changed my mind about him. So how do you feel about him, man?
I feel very confident, man. I'm telling you, Jalen Hurts is the guy. Remember, I was telling you during the offseason, I'm like, it's something different, man. I'm telling you, they give him weapons. He'll be able to give the ball to A.J. Brown. I think it's going to open up the field for Dallas Goedert. Smitty will eventually get his touches, which he did last game. So the field just opened up a lot with a guy like A.J. Brown. So it just increased his, confidence.
Yeah. I mean, with Jalen Hurts, it's just like adding of A.J. Brown and then Devontae Smith at Quest Watkins. You finally gave him weapons. We don't have Whiteside. We don't have Rager anymore. So for me, it's just like it's a huge upgrade. And we can see the real Jalen Hurts. We can see what he's all about. And then the same game plan, the same system. Nick Sirianni, the first time in his career. So that's really big. And as you know, dude, I'm not that big on Jalen Hurts. I'm still like on that bandwagon type. You and I were talking a while in the offseason. We were just talking about the total yardage and stuff. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But do you think he can be a franchise quarterback? Our franchise quarterback after this season?
I say yes. I say yes. I think he has the ability to win the division. If he win a playoff game, I mean, Jalen Hurts haters must will wrap it up. He's going to be the franchise quarterback if he win the playoff game and get us to like the first or second seed, because I don't really see any threat in the NFC. Buccaneers injuries, Saints not good. Rams, I don't know. Rams look flawed on that offensive line. We probably the healthiest team. And you know what happens when your team is the healthiest? They go the furthest. So
Yeah. Health is a big, big key. So you know how you actually saw my tweet when let's be realistic, Jalen Hurts is not getting this many yardage. But based off those 2 games, can you see that actually happening? I don't know about me.
Yeah, we had this debate. I'm like, Mitch, he missed the game. I think he's gonna be able to get over 4,300. You're like, I don't know.
It was 43 or 4,900.
I think it was like 43 or something like that. I'm like, I think he'll be able to get over that. I'm like, that includes rushing too.
Yeah.
He was just like, yeah, I know, but I'm like, if he stay healthy the whole season, I think he'll be able to get those yards. And he's showing he could sling the rock. So
Yeah, I mean, for me, the big thing about Jalen Hurts, I still don't know, is his consistency. Can he keep this up? First game against
mhm.
the Lions, he did that, sort of. Vikings, he did it. Can he do it against the Commanders? Can he do it against Jaguars, the Cardinals? Can he do that consistent? Because for
That's
me, if he can't, we're back where we started.
interesting fact about this game that's having me a little worried. So I try to look for trends from last year and then this year. Remember when we beat the Saints and we was all up and high? We played the
Yes.
Giants and laid the egg
Yeah.
and lost 7-13. So things like that can happen. I hope it don't. So I hope that trend ends. But it feels good to start 2-0. You know we ain't start 2-0 since 2016. So
Right.
so it feels good to start 2-0. Definitely if we could get this one. But my preseason prediction, like before the season started, I had us losing this game. And then when they come to the link, we was gonna beat them. Cause division games can be tricky. Like they
Yes.
can be really tricky. So
Yeah. Like for me, I had it going 11-6, and people told me I'm crazy. Like people have us going 16-1, 15-2. I'm like, yeah, I'm crazy with 11-6. But honestly, if we lose this one, we cannot afford to lose again in our home turf.
yeah.
We can't. Like that's obviously no. So if this happens, if we get this dub, because the defense, Commanders defense, is a little bit shaky right now. They had a hard time stopping the Lions' run.
hmm
So do you think they can stop our run, our
That's
run
the
game?
that's the thing. The commanders are suspect. I don't think their coverage is really good. I don't think they run deep. Their defense is not really that good. So they can get exposed like the Vikings defense. But I can't say Carson Wentz been having a really good year the first 2 weeks. Can we slow him down? Are we going to bring the blitz? Are we going to stick to the same game plan that we did with the Vikings? Got to bring the blitz. And the guy I want to see blitzing is Hassan Reddick. I don't want to see this man in coverage. Just go get the quarterback.
Right, right. I mean, we're going to talk about Hassan Reddick in a little bit because I saw your video today. So
Yeah.
we're going to bring that up later. But Hassan Reddick in coverage, I mean, that makes no sense. How many sacks did this guy have last year? I mean, this guy needs to rush the quarterback. That's exactly what we need against Carson Wentz. That's what we need is Reddick.
But to answer that question, I don't think they'll be able to stop the run game, especially if you add Jalen Hurts in it. Boston
Yeah.
Scott is having a sneaky good year. So
Boston
I
Scott's
don't think
having a
so.
decent year. Kenneth
Mm.
Gainwell, he's having a slow start.
Yeah,
And beginning of the year, in the offseason, I had him having more carries than Miles Sanders because Miles Sanders with uh, his injuries. It's like I want Kenneth Gainwell to sign because I'm not paying Miles Sanders after this year. I'm not. That's too much. We don't need that. You have Gainwell who can take that spot because you don't need a heavy. We don't need like a top one running back with this offensive line. This
no,
offensive line can. That's why we have the best run game. It's because of our offensive line. So for
I
me,
agree.
yeah, I'm not paying Miles Sanders a dime. I will let him go. I will let him go. It's kind of tough, but
What's up, Ryan? Bro?
what's up, Ryan? Thank you for being here, bro. Make sure you hit that like. But yeah. So how do you feel about Miles Sanders overall this season?
So far, so good. As I said in the off season, as long as he under 20 carries, I think we're good. It's when we try to force feed him. That's when the fumbles happen. That's when the drops happen. That's when the mistakes happen. But if you could get him to like 15, 17 carries per game, he give you like 96 to 100 yards. I'm not mad. Give him that. But if he carry the ball too much, a mistake is going to happen. He's even an injury might happen. So, but so far, Miles Sanders been looking great.
Yeah, he's averaging what, like 5 yards per carry,
Yeah,
5.56. I mean, that's really good. For our run game, Jalen Hurts is averaging like 12, what is it, like 12 to 17 rushes. Like, to me,
yeah.
that's a little too high. I would want to stick it to 10 to 12. So for me, it's just that's a little, I don't want him to go over 12. You agree with me on that? Or is that like,
No,
fire.
I agree. The number is slightly flawed a bit because he had to run so much against the Lions for blitz reasons, but I don't think he ran the ball as much against the Vikings. The Vikings, it was more. I don't know. It was more of a. I mean, just run it because they letting me run it. It's a lot of green grass,
Yeah.
but that Lions game, he had to get up out of it. He didn't even have time to even look at the receivers against the Lions.
I know the
So
offensive line. We couldn't stop Hutchinson, and I'm a huge Michigan fan, so I love that and I hated it. So it's just like we could not stop Hutchinson, and we did stop the Vikings. Can we do that with the
yeah.
Commanders though? Like the Commanders, anything can happen with this defense or this offensive line. Excuse me, anything can happen.
See, the interesting thing is so the Lions took the blitz perspective. We're gonna blitz Jalen Hurts and see if he can get the ball out of his hand, see what he can do. Vikings is like, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna cover and see if he can read a defense. He read the defense really well. So now it's getting to a point. Teams trying to come up with a formula like how to stop him. So, but the Lions definitely took the Buccaneers approach. Like we're gonna bring the blitz, see what his receivers can do. But we got a different receiver core. You throw it up to AJ Brown, he's going to catch it like Rager.
Right,
So
right. We're going to talk about the wide receiving core in a minute. But yeah, with this run game, I absolutely love it. I would love it personally if we brought in Jordan Howard back. But Trey Sherman, he hasn't stepped field on the foot. He hasn't stepped on the field yet. So it's like, what's taking Trey Sherman? Is he injured or something? I don't. What's
I
going on
think
with
it's
him?
more the special teams. Like every time we bring somebody up, is always Covey. So I just think we
Right.
need a special teams guy. We already got 3 running backs out there, so I don't think we
Yeah.
really need another to elevate. That's just we don't need them right now.
Yeah. Shout out to you, man.
Mm.
Thank you for being here. But
Oh my god.
it's just like it's crazy. It's literally crazy that we have 3 running backs that are proving our game each time. But for me, it's just like I don't know. It's something about this run game makes it feel special, and then it opens up the wide receiving core and whatever. Our special team offense sucks. I mean,
Yeah, I
you're not
agree.
wrong. Like you're not wrong. From what I've been seeing, and with Cool Cat him yelling, I'm I'm used to that. Like
Well,
Boston runs hard. Yeah, I really like Boston shot. I do. I
yeah,
really do.
that's the name of it because I made my video about the special teams. I was saying like overall the special teams suck, but I'm like I like what Zach McPherson and stuff is doing, but for some reason Covey just don't run straight. Like he
He
tried to bounce.
doesn't.
I'm like, just do run straight.
Our special teams, man. I don't think we had a good one. I mean, yes, we did have Deshaun Jackson. Obviously, we did have Darren Sproles. We had
But
those
since
guys,
then,
but since then, who have we had? It's just like Rager was supposed to be that guy, and we saw what happened. Rager just
yeah,
muffed punts and let it go over his head to the 10-yard line or probably even a 1-yard line. So
I
for
agree.
me, yeah, it's insane. So you were speaking about the wide receiving core. We got to talk about the wide receiver. So in this game, who do you think will have a better one, Smith or AJ Brown?
That's a good question. Good question. I think mm, I think it might be AJ Brown. I think AJ Brown will have a better game. I see how they doing it a bit. I think AJ Brown is gonna have the better game. Then I think second it might be Goddard. Then third Smitty. We got to see. I just think he's gonna feed AJ Brown. AJ Brown is gonna go off. One of them gonna get their first touchdown. That's what I'm not sure about. One of
Mhm.
them need their first touchdown.
Right,
But the
right.
X factor, always to me is Quez Watkins. Just like I said when I was talking to Mike, Philly Mike, like a week ago, he was asking me the same question. I'm like, just watch out for Quez. I think Quez is going to have a good game. He like,
Yeah,
we'll see, and that's who they leave out. They gonna leave him open again. I'm telling you, Washington is going to do it.
yeah. Washington's
Mm,
gonna do it. But with
mm.
this off with these weapons, it's like my shout out to my guy Cool Cat Connor. He's doing a live right now. He's like, pick your poison. If AJ Brown's covered, you got Devontae. If he's covered, you got Quez. If he's covered, you got Dallas Goedert. So it's just like you got to pick who you're going to cover. It's going to be tough. So for me, it's like I have Dallas Goedert getting his first touchdown this game. I actually called it. I made a tweet about it earlier today. So it's just like I'm sealed. I'm locked in. Dallas Goedert first touchdown. So better off of these, I got to go with Devontae Smith because I don't think AJ Brown is going to get that many targets like the first game and the last game. I really think they're going to try to shut down AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith is going to have all the catches. He's a number one wide receiver going against a number two. So for me, I got to go to Smith.
Yeah, I could see that, and I also think Jalen Hurts. I think this gonna be the game too. I'm not sure if I'm going ahead, but I think this is the game where he might have more passing touchdowns than rushing touchdowns. I hope so, anyway.
Oh my God, I want that too. Like so freaking much.
Like it'd be right there. Like the passing touchdown is there, but they doing what we wanted them to do in the goal line. We like stop throwing the ball at the goal line. Just run it in. They've been doing it for the past 2 weeks. And now we all complaining like, why you don't throw a touchdown? It's like, no, just keep running them in.
I mean, dude, if he's open, if Zach Pascal is open, he's a red zone threat. Give him the ball, man. Just throw it, like throw a slant or something, bro. I mean, I'm getting tired of like these rushing touch. As long as we're winning, I can't really complain. I can't complain, but it's just like it would be nice to throw a nice little touchdown. Like throw to Goddard. They don't have good linebackers. They don't. So do you think Dallas Goedert can get the first touchdown against their linebackers? Because I really feel confident about this one. I really do.
He was close the first 2 weeks. Like he'd get there, like he'd get us to the goal line, then we'd rush it in. But he was really close against the Lions. Remember, they stopped him at the 1. And I think the second game they stopped him like at the 5. Dallas Goedert, I think, had the most yards last game. A lot of people not talking about that. I think he had like 82.
I think
Smitty
you're right.
had like 80. Yeah, Dallas Goedert had a really good game, but nobody's not talking about it. I'm not sure why.
You know why they're not talking about it? Because it's just like everyone wide receiving core, including Goddard, got under 100. It was just like each person got under 100. It's crazy. I haven't seen that in like a while from this Eagles team.
How many people caught the ball? Like 7, 8 different, like including running backs. Like Pascal touched the ball. All our receivers touched the ball.
Yeah. So receiving, Goddard got 82. So you were right there. Yeah. Devontae Smith got 7 catches, 80 yards. Watkins got 2 for 69. AJ Brown got 5 for 69. Oh my God. Pascal got 2 for 14 yards, and then Gainwell got 1 for 11. Miles Sanders got 3 for 6. 3 for 6? What? And 1 for 2 for Boston Scott. So combined, they got 333 yards.
That's good.
That's
something people thought Hurts couldn't do. Like they like Hurts not. The first game was Hurts not spreading the ball. He's only feeding one guy. Second game, everybody ate. Everybody got some food. So
for me, that was the biggest thing against the Lions. Like he would just keep on throwing to AJ Brown each time. AJ Brown, AJ Brown, AJ Brown, and I'm like, Devontae Smith had 4 targets, no catches. I think Watkins had like what? I didn't even think he had a target, and Pascal had 1 catch or something like that. It was so AJ Brown and Hurts connection. That can't happen every single time. I don't know if that's going to happen against the Commanders, though. The Commanders, I would like to see spread the ball around like this, pass them. Like, common sense at this point.
And you know the crazy thing is, like, some of these guys like Quez Watkins, Kenneth Gainwell, some of these guys could have had more yards. But remember those illegal mans down the fields and them holdings?
Yes.
Like, it really took away. Quez Watkins could have had about 82. Remember he slung it, rolling to his left? They called it back because Mulata was holding.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, come on. It's just like to spread the ball around. It works. It worked against a very good Vikings defense. They don't know who to cover. So hopefully they do the same thing again. So, yeah.
But remember, I told you Goddard had a really good game last game, but nobody's talking about it.
Like honestly, bro, it's just like he's a top 5 tight end. He's like top 5, top 7 around there. So if he gets the recognition that he deserves, I'm all for
I agree.
it. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I agree with Birdman too. Definitely
Yeah, we
agree.
did get robbed. Yeah. How many was that? Like two, three? Like
What, the legal man's down the field?
yeah.
I think it was like four of them. A couple
Four?
holders.
I'm
Yeah, I
missing
think it was
one.
like
I'm
four.
probably missing one. But we gotta go to the defense side of the ball. How do we stop the man Carson Wentz? How do we stop him? Because
Mm,
it's his revenge game. Apparently, he's gonna get his revenge. I don't see that happening. But how do you stop him?
Got to bring that blitz. That's what the Lions did the first half. The Lions messed up because they stopped bringing the blitz. They start playing a little conservative, but you got to bring that pressure, and that's when we got to rely on Jonathan Gannon. Got to bring the pressure, keep bringing it. Because what Carson Wentz do, and what I always hated about Carson Wentz when he was in Philly, just dump it off to the running back. Why are you waiting for this long route to develop? But we know that about Carson Wentz. Just keep sending pressure. He's going to end up throwing an interception to you or fumbling.
I mean, look what happened last game. Darius Slay had 2 interceptions. He could have had 4
Hmm.
just because of the blitz. So if you just keep on doing that, good things will happen. But to me, with Jonathan Gannon, I don't know if he's going to be consistent like Jalen Hurts. I don't think he's going to be the same exact thing every single time. So for me, it's just like, please, just stick to this. It worked. Do you think he'll do that? Or do you
I
think
hope
he'll.
so. I hope so. Because that's Carson Wentz's weakness. Just bring pressure. Just keep the pressure on him. And he's going to throw a pick. He's going to fumble. But like you said, Jonathan Gannon.
Mhm.
And that's also that's why you get a James Bradbury and that's why you get a Darius Slay because they could guard their mans 1-on-1. They don't
Yeah.
have to zone up too much.
So how do we stop Dotson? Because he's going off. So do you just let him go with Bradbury? Or do you just have like Devontae Maddox, like zone, or what do you do?
It depends what type of game he's having. If he's like just completely going off, you got to put Slay on him. But if Avante Maddox is slowing him down or Bradbury is slowing him down, then that's fine. But if it seemed like he going off, you got to put Slay on him to shut him down. Remember, we had to do that to Elijah Moore last year.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it feels so good to have this secondary. Like, we just got Garner Johnson, like on the end of the postseason or the off season. So it's just like adding him makes our secondary so much better. We got Bradbury away from the Giants. It's like Bradbury had a pick six already, his first in his career with the Eagles. So it's just like I trust our cornerbacks against our wide receivers, like, even against McLaurin. Do you see McLaurin having a good game against Darius Slay? Because I don't see that at all. I
mhm.
don't see it.
I agree. I
Yeah.
definitely agree.
Bringing back enough pressures to blitzing the covers running game. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically all you got to do. It's common sense at the end of the day. Why do they make it so difficult? That's just my
Uh,
question. Like, why?
it's stubbornness. It's one of those things like I drew up these plays for months and months and months. Like they should work and they don't. You just got to change the game plan.
Hmm.
But people been asking for like blitz. Our defense just looks so much better blitzing. And it's not like we just have some super bad corners. Now, if we had like the corners were bad, I'd be like, yeah, you got to cover a little bit because the corners are bad. But we got two stud cornerbacks. Bradbury is another one. Had a quiet game, but he was really good. I think he was targeted like 4 times and no catches on his side. He just didn't have no interception. So nobody talking about it. But he had a
Right.
really good game.
So much respect for the Eagles, but I think Wentz gets revenge tomorrow. I don't see it. I
I
really
mean,
don't with this defense. I
I
don't.
don't either, but if it happens, it happens. It depends on what type of fashion. Like if they blow us out, I'm gonna be kind of upset. But if it's like a shootout and he just happened to get the ball last and he scored a touchdown, I'm gonna be really mad at the defense. But I'm like, we fought. Like,
Yeah, he got too many weapons. I mean, he does have. I mean,
do
look.
he really have too many weapons?
I mean, think about it. You got McLaurin. Dotson, and Logan Thomas, I think. The run
That's
game
it.
is not there.
Antonio Gibson not the same.
Gibson is just like still what he once
He a
was.
shell of himself.
So he only has those three, and the run game is not that good. I learned that from Rio last night. So
Mhm.
it's just like they're missing Robinson. They're really missing Robinson in the run game. So it's like he doesn't have that many weapons compared to Hurts. I mean, we can talk about Hurts' weapons all day. Sanders, Gainwell, Brown, Smith, Galladay, so on and so forth. Watkins, Pascal. I mean, he's got weapons on weapons on weapons, which is great. I don't see that for Wentz right now. I mean, do you think McLaurin is the best wide receiver in the East? Because I don't see that at all. I think it's AJ Brown.
I don't think he's better than AJ Brown or Smitty. I think
Or
he got some cop. Yeah, I don't. I think he got some competition in Washington. I think Dotson looking like the best receiver on that team so far. That's who's
yeah,
make. But I mean, that's no knock on Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin, if he was on the open market, I'm like, go get him. But
I would get him like
no,
1,000%, but not now.
yeah.
But
Oh yeah, Curtis Samuel.
Curtis
He bringing him
Samuel,
up too. He's really good too.
Curtis Samuel.
But
But it's just like, bro, Washington fans, they didn't even want Dotson. They wanted Chris Olave or Christian Watson. But now
mhm,
they got Dotson. They think he's like the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, he is
yeah,
playing good. Don't get me wrong. He does have a nice move that'll let him to the end zone each time. So he
mhm.
does have that. But for me, it's just like, I want to take AJ Brown. Like, you've seen it. You've seen it in the first two games. And then Devontae
Yeah,
Smith, the first game was just bad. Second game was better. Hopefully, the third game will get even better for Devontae
yeah.
Smith. So,
But the second game was really good by Smith. I agree with
yeah.
that.
I think Gannon will play man like back to back games. I
I
don't
hope
know if it
so.
worked last game. I wanted to keep doing the same exact thing, right? If it worked, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then Gannon tries to outsmart everybody and play thinks he's playing chess, but he's playing checkers. So it's just like, bro, like no, we might be due for a letdown, but Hurts won't let that happen because he wants to. Oh my god, he wants to destroy Wentz because he shaded him. That is also
Yeah,
true.
that report.
Do you all trust Gannon? I do not. I still don't. After this one game, I need to see more.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, what is he going to bring? I might be up all night just thinking about it. Like, man, what is he going to do? Is he going to
Right?
just go coverage? Is he going to blitz? That's the only guy I'm worried about.
Yeah, me too. And in the first game, the Lions scored 35 points on us, and everyone wanted Gannon gone. Everybody wanted Gannon gone. And in the second
Mhm.
game, he looked great, letting up over 7 points. Now they were praising him like he did everything. Oh my gosh, it's only one game he did well. Can he do that consistent? Can he do that against the Commanders, Jaguars, Cardinals? It's the same exact thing. And go back to the blitzing for a second. We're known for a blitzing type of defense. Look at Jim Johnson, what we had back in the day. God, I miss that defense. I miss that defense
Yeah,
so freaking much. We were blitzing. We had the best secondary back to back to back seasons. I miss that defense so much. You gotta blitz Wentz, otherwise it's gonna be a long day, in my opinion. That is
yeah.
fair.
We seen that in the second half against the Lions. They literally stopped blitzing. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, Gannon must be better each game. He will improve from game to game. And what do you think last year or during the offseason? He got coaching interviews. He got interviews to be a head coach. So wouldn't that motivate you to do better? Not like the Lions game. The Lions game, he did terrible. And then Vikings, he did good. I just want him to do good against the Commanders, Cardinals, Jaguars, Bobby Ryan's defense back in the day, right? Right? We were always known for that tough and gritty defense. Right now, we don't have it. We don't. We got all the players. We don't have the coordinator. The Eagles fans in the stadium will be loud when it's going to struggle. That is right.
Yeah,
They're going to have like hundreds of buses there. Oh my God,
yeah.
I can't wait for that.
And this was the game I was thinking about going to, but I'm like, I don't feel
Oh,
like driving all the way to
really?
Washington. I was really thinking about going to that game.
Yeah, like a lot of people I know are going to that game. Like Brunson, Philly Sports guys. I know a lot of Eagles guys that are
Yeah,
going to that game. So it's like this
I might.
game. Yeah,
I was about to say I might wait till you come to the link. That's what I might. I might wait.
that's what Rio Robinson is doing. He's thinking about going to the link.
Oh man, I don't think that's a. Don't put on the Washington colors. I don't
Oh
think
my!
that's a good idea.
Remember Mike Scott?
Yeah, I remember that. Do
I
not put
can't
on no
believe I'm
colors.
Mike
Just
Scott. I mean,
come there
people
looking
forget about
neutral.
this. Like you can't do that anymore. You just can't. Not in City Philly. You just can't. But to stop Dotson at the end of the day, I trust Bradbury. So hopefully Gannon trusts Bradbury like I do. So he can shut him down. I mean, that's
Yeah,
all we got to worry about. And with Carson Wentz, actually, he leads the league in touchdown passes with 7.
yeah.
So that's something. I know he's going to get like a touchdown or two. I don't want him to get 3 or more. That's my goal. If he gets 2, perfect. If he gets 3 more, that's bad.
But the
like
thing
I,
is, he's going to turn the ball over. That's the thing.
yeah, he's going to definitely turn the ball over. That's definitely his. How many interceptions does he have?
I think he got like 4. Record got 2 against the Lions, and yeah, just about to say look that up real quick.
I, I'm actually curious now.
But,
Uh, ooh, he's got 3 total interceptions.
yeah, 3. So he threw 2 against Jacksonville, 1 against Detroit.
Yeah,
So yeah,
he got
that's what he's going to do.
yeah, and actually, he's been playing well on the defensive side of the ball. Fletcher Cox. He's been playing really well, better than last season already. Like in these
Yeah,
first 2 games, correct me if I'm wrong here. Does he have 2 strip sacks? I think he has 2, right?
I'm
Or
not
any?
sure.
He has 2 forced fumbles. I know that.
Not sure.
I think he
But
has
you know who
one.
else having a good year? Sorry, is Josh Sweat.
Not Sweat. Yeah,
Josh Sweat
yeah.
been getting a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I was actually talking about that with Rio last night, and I was like, "Who's going to do better this game, Josh Sweat or Montez Sweat?" And of course, he goes to Montez Sweat. I'm going Josh Sweat here. He's going to have a better game, I feel like, than Montez. 7 cents. Uh, do you wait? Hold on. What is up,
Randy,
Alka? Yeah,
what's
that's
up,
my
my
guy.
guy?
What is up, Randy? A hardcore sports member. Shout out to you, my guy. Thank you for being here, bro. Thank you for being here. But do you think Darius Slay can get 2 interceptions again?
This game, I will say yes. Against Carson Wentz, I will say yes. He can do it, but Darius Slay got to catch him. I think he could do it.
He could have had 4 or 5. He could have 4.
And you know,
God,
Darius Slay actually really liked Carson Wentz. Remember when he first came to Philly and he talked to Carson Wentz like, "Yeah, this the ball I got when you threw an interception in Detroit." Like he liked Carson Wentz when he threw them picks. So
yeah, it's insane. It really is. But if Darius Slay gets 2 interceptions again, I'm like, bro, he's got to be up there for the Defensive Player of the Year. Like he won Defensive Player of the Week last week. So if he keeps this up against like 2 a game or even 1 a game, he's got to make it to the Pro Bowl. He's going to win Defensive Player of the Year conversations. I mean, this is the year for Darius Slay. And Bradbury, he's not looking too bad himself either. A pick
he's not
6.
looking bad.
Yeah.
And we got
So,
him cheap.
huh?
And we got Bradbury cheap.
Oh my God, yeah. I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked that the Giants let him go and we just grabbed him like that. I'm like, what the hell? He was the second best defensive player. And some Giants fans are telling me they don't need him. Well, they're 2-0 right now. So right now
Yeah.
they're right. They're right now. So in your video today, I did watch it. Maybe the guys in the chat didn't. But hold on. I'm thinking Bradbury on McLaurin, Slay on Samuel, and Maddox on Dawson. I don't know. I feel like Slay's got to be on McLaurin. Am I right?
No, I like Bradbury on McLaurin.
Oh, you
And
okay?
I want Slay actually on Dotson though. I
Oh,
don't know.
okay. I mean, you can change them either way. But
Yeah,
can you explain to everybody who did not see your video? Hassan Reddick's your X factor for this game. So can you explain why?
sure. He's my X factor because he's the guy that's taking a lot of blame. He's the guy people thinking he's washed up. He's the guy that we kind of forgetting about. Yeah, we talking about AJ Brown, the Bradberries, even CJ Gardner Johnson. But the first guy we signed was Hassan Reddick for reasons like this to get pressure. Last game, I think he did pretty good getting pressure. A lot of people don't. I'm like Kirk Cousins was letting the ball out of his hands too quick, but I think he was getting pressure. There was a couple times we dropped him back in coverage, which I didn't like. But I think this is the game because Carson Wentz hold the ball. This is the game he could get about 3 sacks. But I mean, Jonathan Gannon got to put him in those positions.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm
losing Darren Barnett was like a blessing and a curse because now you could use like a Hassan Reddick more on the edges. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, with Hassan Reddick, if he doesn't get the sacks that I know he can, then there was no point of getting him. Like, honestly. And with the whole Derek Barnett situation, it sucks. It is addition by subtraction. But I honestly believe if Ojabo did not get injured, we would have drafted him. I really believe we would have drafted Ojabo right there. But we didn't. The Ravens took him. And then some panic button, we brought back Derek Barnett for cheap. That's
Yeah.
what I honestly believe. And from a Michigan fan, if I got Ojabo, I would have got that jersey right away. I'm like, come on, man. Watch tape from last year when he guarded Terry. I mean, he did get burnt last year. Am I right?
You talk about
Bradbury.
Bradbury.
I think he did get burnt.
We'll see how it go. We'll see.
Yeah.
Because
So, yeah. Who do you think is going to get the first sack on Carson Wentz?
I want it to be Fletcher Cox or Brandon Graham, just because of the history of it.
Right. Right.
But
I
I
mean,
think it's probably gonna be like Josh Sweat or something.
I think
But
it's Kaiser White. I feel like it's going to be Kaiser White. He's been all
Isaiah
over.
White,
I think it could be White. I think it could be Reddick. I mean, honestly, I wanted it to be Hargrave. Like,
mm,
the new guy kind of make himself known, and he gets the sack on Carson Wentz, the first one, meaning like he means business. And yeah. Well, if he's too slow, then he ain't covering anyone on the Commanders cards. They all got hot
they all
wheels.
got wheels. That's true.
Yeah. LOL, we see he's going to the red zone now. That is true. Yeah. The first sack going to Jordan Davis.
I hope
If
so.
I really want Jordan Davis to get a sack, and that's coming from a Michigan fan. I hated that. I still can't
Mm.
bring that up. But don't lose tomorrow. Yeah, don't lose to the Giants on Monday. That'd be cool. Uh
I actually
yeah.
want the Cowboys to beat the Giants just to even the playing field. It's like I
Honestly,
just
for
need them.
me, I just want a good game. I just want a good football game. I don't care who wins, who loses. I just want a good game. I got the Giants winning because I flipped a coin. I asked Siri heads or tails. It gave me heads, and I got Giants.
Question though,
Yeah,
how
whatever.
do you feel about Hargrave this season? He's been starting pretty slow, right?
He
He's
started
not
pretty.
having the best season.
No, I think it's because Fletcher Cox and Jordan Davis. I know Jordan
Mm,
Davis didn't get a lot of snaps in the first game. Second game, he was out there a little more. So for me, Hargrave is getting pushed to the side because of Jordan Davis now,
yeah.
and I hate to say it, but I don't. If he starts to pick up like he did last year, if I see him starting to pick up, that'd be good because Fletcher Cox is going to retire after this year. I'll feel more comfortable going Jordan Davis and Hargrave right there, but Hargrave's got to step up more. That is right. But
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, because they keep saying they think he's gonna be the guy that get extended, but when I look at it, I'm like, you probably gotta get that money to somebody else. Like,
yeah, it's
I
not
don't know.
looking. It's not looking good for Hargrave right now. It is not. It's sad. It is
And
really.
then you got 2 first-round picks. So Jalen Hurts paying out. You could get a nice defensive tackle.
Yeah,
Another one.
and we need the Saints to have a better season.
Yeah, and I don't think the Saints gonna have the best season so far. What I've seen, they did play the Bucks, but the Saints offensively don't look good at all.
They don't. What's going on with Kamara? Like, I have him on my fantasy team, and he's not doing anything.
Exactly.
I'm like, come on, all my fantasy guys are doing bad this year. What, a tie? We're not getting a tie.
He talking about. I think he talking about the Giants and the Cowboys. Like he don't care.
If that happens, I'm gonna laugh so freaking hard. If that's a freaking tie, but whew. But for me, what's going on with Kobe Dean here? What's going on with Kobe Dean? He's not playing.
It's one of those things. T.J. Edwards looking like a top 5 linebacker. Kazir White looks so good. It's like, man, they not really rotating the linebackers at all. They letting them two just play the whole game, and then they putting Hassan Reddick to rotate. I'm not sure why he's not in the rotation, but Nakobe Dean, I think he'll be okay. He's in a bad situation, but a good situation because he could learn from these guys too. But TJ Edwards had 10 tackles. Like, come on, he was all over the field, covering and all. Remember, we were like, we don't know about TJ Edwards covering. He looked good.
Our linebacker room is deep. It's really deep. So the Kobe Dean might be pushed off to the side and just like. Do you think it has anything to do with like quote unquote injury?
Nah, I just think our linebackers just look really good. But I made a video about Nakobe Dean. I'm like, his time will come because when you look at the linebackers, it's like, can we sign all these guys? We got to be honest. Like, it's going to be between TJ Edwards and Kazir White. I believe the Eagles, if Kazir White take another discount, but I believe they will go TJ Edwards. Then it'd just be TJ Edwards and Nakobe Dean instead of Kazir White. But we can't sign all these guys. CJ Gardner-Johnson going to want money. Our linebacker core going to want money. Do we keep Bradbury again? I don't want to think about this stuff, but some of these dudes, we're going to have to walk. I'm just not sure who. But if it's a linebacker, Nakobe Dean will get a shot.
I mean, Fletcher Cox, I don't think we're going to bring him back because, we actually did cut him. Then we brought him back on a one-year deal. So it's just like, I think he's gone. Jason Kelsey's going to retire, hopefully. Mm-hmm. And then if he retires, that empties up more spaces for the offensive line. And then we put Cam Jurgens right there. So it's just like, we're doing good for the future build-up wise.
And it's a guy we not mentioning if he have a great year, but we got to pay a boatload of money to.
Hurts?
Jalen Hurts. Exactly.
I knew exactly where you were going. It's like, bro, when it came to Jalen Hurts, I'm just like, he's got to ball out. Like, right now, I've been hearing he's third in the MVP conversation right now. Behind Josh Allen, who's having, like, another level. And then you got Patrick Mahomes. So
another level.
Like, he's right there. And then you got some other quarterbacks there. But if Jalen Hurts keeps this up, and somehow if he gets MVP, like some other Eagle content creators say that he's going to win MVP, if that happens, you got to keep him.
Exactly.
It's just like, it's pray. It's basically pray that, A, he doesn't get injured, knock on wood. Pray that we make it to the playoffs. Pray that we beat the first game. And pray that Jalen Hurts gets the MVP. If all that happens, he's staying.
He's going to get his money. And the thing is, what's working out in Jalen Hurts' favor is that he's a second-round pick. If he was a first-round pick, he probably could. I think they get that fifth-year option thing, which they can hold on to them. But he could walk. Like, he's a second-round pick. And,
I got to ask you something. What was your reaction to when we drafted Jalen Hurts? Like,
I was mad.
You were mad?
I was upset. A lot of Cowboys fans and stuff keep bringing that up, but when you look at the situation, it's like you had Carson Wentz, who y'all sold to us was supposed to be our future quarterback, and you're supposed to build around him, and you didn't. You just got another quarterback insurance plan. It just didn't make sense at the time. But in the future, hindsight, if he was going to let Carson Wentz go, now it makes sense. But it didn't make sense
Yeah,
at the time. Just like
it
the
does.
J Jaws and Rager's, all
Rager's.
that. It just didn't make sense.
It does. It doesn't make sense. Like we had a bad history of drafting. Like we just had a bad history, and then the last 2 seasons we got Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson, we got Jordan Davis, and Kobe Dean, Cam Jurgens. So there's just some of them. So it's just like how he's turning over a new leaf. I mean, is that going to keep going for Howie Roseman, or do you think I'm done?
Hopefully it keep going. I was watching a Howie Roseman interview. He made a good point, but it was like I didn't like it. He was saying the reason why he used to pick like the Ragers and stuff like that is because guys that come out of like Alabama and Georgia and stuff, they got an injury history of coming into the league. So he tried to outsmart the system by picking a guy that's probably not going to get hurt. So
Yeah. I mean, you just got to pick for the best talent. That's why all
best
these
talent.
guys from the big schools get drafted early. It's common sense. I mean, if you're like, if you won the Super Bowl and you got the last pick, it's like, okay, we're good. Who do we draft? Where are the holes that we need? But the Eagles right now, you need the best available, and the coaching is supposed to be bringing you that. But our coaching right now is just like, last game was good, but is that going to keep going, especially with Shane Steichen? I don't
Yeah.
know what it's going to be with Shane Steichen. How do you think he's been doing the first 2 games, Steichen?
He's been doing great. I was saying like I don't think he's going to be an Eagle too long, and that's just because he might get a head coaching job somewhere. So
Yeah, he might get a
I
head
think
coaching
yeah,
job.
he looked
Um,
good.
Jonathan Gannon. That's the thing, right? If we have a great season, if we actually do have a great season, and then we go win the first playoff game, all these coaching we have, they're going to leave. They're going to leave. Gannon will be gone, and Shane Steichen. I don't know if Shane Steichen will be totally gone because he does have that good relationship with Nick Sirianni. So for me, it's just like Jonathan Gannon is definitely out. I'm not sure about Shane Steichen though, but it's just like
I,
other coaching will be gone.
let me say why I think Shane Steichen probably over Jonathan Gannon. You see how all the concerns you got about Jalen Hurts? People gonna think like, yo, if he come here, he can develop our quarterback. Imagine the Bears let they head coach go after one season. They be like, maybe he can develop Justin Fields like he did Jalen Hurts. See,
Right?
you got to
Yeah.
think of stuff like that. So I don't want him to go because he making Jalen Hurts look great. So
I
you got to
know.
think starting from the second half. Remember Nick Sirianni like, I'm gonna stop calling plays and let him. And Jalen Hurts been looking good ever since. What? Right? He 8-2 since like last season. If you continue into this season, like regular season wise, it's like eight and
Right.
two.
So when it comes to Jalen Hurts and his whole offseason and how much work he put in, you see the improvements. It's not like Ben Simmons and look where he is now. It's not like that at all. And then you have Tyrese Maxey. I'm sorry, I'm talking basketball, but you get my
No,
point
he
with the
good.
whole off-season work. But Tyrese Maxey is now third in 3-point shooting percentage. So it's just like, come on,
Yeah.
guys. It's like, come on, just keep doing your work, and then that's it. But kudos to Hurts, man. I'm still not fully behind him because I need to see more, but I'm leaning towards, okay, you're doing good. There's some Eagle content creators out there that were not on Hurts at all. Now they're on the bandwagon right after that game. I'm like, that makes no sense to me. Like,
Mhm.
after one good game, now you're on it bandwagon. Like, come
I
on.
agree with you with that too. I'm like, hey, y'all on him now, but y'all was the same ones to like give him time. And it's they making the same points I was making like when we first put him in the game in 2020. I'm like, when Hurts played, the team just felt different. Even that 2020 bad season when we lost to like the Cardinals and stuff. But I'm like, the team just felt different without Carson Wentz. Like it was a spark.
Yeah.
And ever since then, he's just been holding on to that magic.
Yeah, it says with Hurts, players are still like when Hurts was the quarterback and the teams and the players had an option to leave, they were staying because they believed in his kid. They believed in his leadership. They believed in him, everything. But it's just like with Hurts now, with his improvements and everything, it's looking good. But anything can happen on any given Sunday, like you brought up with the Jalen Rager drops.
Yeah.
It's just like now people call me crazy for this, but for that game against the Giants, I blame Hurts more than Rager
Mm.
because Hurts had 3 interceptions, Rager had 2 drops. So it's just like, which is more?
No, I agree with that. I mean, I've seen it from both ends, but I
Yeah.
think I honestly put it more right because people kept saying maybe he should have gave the ball to Smitty, and we all of us had a debate about that, but we lost that game, and whoever you want to blame it on, yeah, Jalen Hurts was horrible that first half, even some of the second half. You
Hmm.
can't throw a pick in the red zone. It's just little stuff he cleaned up, and I like. Look like you're reading the on field more. You're not staring down that one receiver. It was just that whole game was just sloppy. Boston Scott fumbled that game. Can you put it on Boston Scott? You put it on Jalen Rager to drop. 3 interceptions by Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
But one thing for sure, that defense did stand up. I give them that. They held the Giants to 13 points. I mean,
That's
come
incredible.
on, man. You got to get more points.
Yeah. Yeah. When the defense is doing good, the offense got to do their part. It's common sense there. But with this defense, it's just like everything is going the right way with the positions, with everything. So
Mm-hmm.
my question is, do you think this defense could be as good as the Ravens defense by the end of the year, or is that too early to tell?
Ravens defense as in this year? Or are you talking about
Okay,
like in the
okay. Who has the best defense right
past?
now? Who has the best defense right now? Isn't that the Bucks? I don't even know
I
who
think
has the
I
best
think it's
defense.
the Bucks or the Bills, but I just seen the Ravens was up 7-28 and then
Yeah, my
lose.
man. I don't know why. I was thinking
Yeah,
Ray Lewis.
you probably talking about the old Ravens, but they had potential to be. They had a potential. I didn't see too many missed tackles. I mean, you got the corners. You got everything in your favor. We just gotta see. We don't have the play caller as the Ravens had, but gotta say, with talent definitely there.
Oh yeah, yep. And we got to talk about it sooner rather than later. The score predictions. Now,
Mm,
everyone is T1 talking about. Like, I don't know about you, but I get DMs and comments. It's like, what are your score predictions for this week? Because last week I had 24-21 Eagles, and we won 24-7. So it's just like, I don't know, man. So what's your score prediction? Or if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to.
um, I'll say uh, 28, 28, like 30. I'm thinking of a number 31 or 32 Eagles. I don't think we win by much. I think it's gonna be a close game, high scoring game. I think.
For me, it's 28-21. I don't think it should be that high scoring. I really think with this defense going to come out to play, they're on the hype of last week. Anything can happen. But Carson Wentz is going to get lucky with one one touchdown or 2 touchdowns and a pick. He's going to get lucky. He is going to get lucky. But the thing with Carson Wentz is that it's his mental state going to be there. Like, is his mental thing going to be all good? Hopefully it is. Hopefully he's good. I want all that to be well. But if that doesn't happen because of all Eagles fans, it goes bad. So to me, it goes to Carson Wentz mental.
Mm-hmm. We don't see. This one of the biggest games of his career. You know, it is.
Yeah, his revenge game. I mean, bruh. His revenge game is later on in the season for the Monday night game. That's the revenge one, not this one.
Man,
People are just
that
like,
that's true. He got us, and I think they play the Colts this year, so
oh my God, I
that's gonna be
forgot
a good
about
one. So
that. The Colts, man, what's going on over
they can't beat Jacksonville,
there?
no
No,
matter what quarterback they got.
right, right. Now Jacksonville's playing the Chargers. Whew, that's a loss. But yeah, it's crazy just like, how good we've turned this whole team around from one off season. And we're here talking about possible winning the NFC East, which now I can see it with the Cowboys being down, The Giants are right there, and then the Commanders are just like one piece away. So it is competitive. It is
Yeah.
competitive.
And my thing is like I'm at this point, I mean, we gonna always hate the NFC East teams, but I'm looking at the NFC now. I'm looking like, hold on, wait, are we better than the Rams, Cardinals? We better than some of these teams, like especially if we could get a bye, like how we did in 2016, just get a bye, play every game at home. I think we could really do something, man.
Yeah, we could. We have the pieces. We have one of the most complete teams in the NFL. I can't believe I just said that. Like, I really can't believe what I just said after these past couple of seasons. The last time we were 2-0 was back in 2016.
2016.
Same with the Giants, too. Now they're 2-0.
Yeah.
I got to ask, are you nervous about the Giants at all? Like, how do you feel about the Giants right now being 2-0?
I'm not really nervous. I seen them play against the Panthers. That was on in my area. And I'm like, I'm not impressed. It's just more of a bad game by Baker Mayfield, but the Panthers could have won that game. But their defense looked pretty legit. But my thing with the Giants, can they score as much points as us? Like they don't really put up points. And
They
Tennessee
don't.
look horrible. Tennessee
Yeah.
look. They
I
miss
mean,
AJ Brown, don't
they miss
they?
A.J. Brown so much. The Tennessee Titans, oh my God. I have Derrick Henry in one of my fantasy leagues, and he's not doing anything. So, get what I'm saying? Like, my
They
players are
don't.
not doing anything.
They don't have that threat of AJ Brown because their formula was let Derrick Henry run it. You slow him down. We're going to play action and throw it to AJ Brown. Now they don't. They don't have that. That's why you don't trade a guy like that. You pay that man. Give him his $25 million. But
I think they're going in rebuild mode. I mean, obviously they are. I mean, they got Robert Woods there, but
yeah, it's not the same.
it is not. It's not the same. The Titans had a dual threat, and I don't like Tannehill. He stinks. Ryan Tannehill is terrible, bro.
You know how many arguments I got in with Tennessee Titans fans? No way. He's going to Jalen Hurts. He's going to be worse. I'm like, I don't think Ryan Tannehill is as good. I'm like, did you guys see him in Miami? Did his Miami history just erase? You just gave him a number one receiver. He was pretty good in the running game.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Ryan Tannehill is just not it. I think they need to go with who's that quarterback? Malik Willis.
Malik Willis. Just give him a shot.
I mean, you can say the same thing about the Steelers. Look at Kenny Pickett. He's about to
Yeah,
go over Trubisky. It's terrible.
they could have won that game too.
Oh my God, yeah. It's just like crazy. But we're closing in on an hour, so I just want to say thank you for coming on, bro. Me and you talk a lot, on the Instagrams, Twitter, and stuff like that. So let the people know where they can find you, bro. Because I'm pretty sure all of them already subscribe to you.
Yeah, Alkabeer the analyst. I post clips. And now I'm starting to do the game by, play-by-play streams. Just trying to broaden my audience a bit. So just type in Alkabeer the analyst. I should come up. Mainly Eagles. I talk other teams here and there, but mainly Eagles.
There you go. There you go. So if you guys want to find them, it's Alkabeer the analyst. You see on the screen. The links are in the description. Please make sure you subscribe, like, share, do all that stuff, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for the Cool Cat Mitch game day for the Eagles and the Commanders. Oh, wait, hold on a second. I got to show you something. I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
All right, hold on. You probably will. Commanders, here we go.
We are Commanders. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Washington Commanders football team. We've got a new slogan. Yeah, we took it off of Farmers. The fact of the matter is, we are Commanders. Boy, it gets better every time, I tell you guys. Hey, like I always tell you guys from the Rally Captain, you rep it hard, but don't rep it all. It's your boy Rally Captain, and we